This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Business is booming at the new Stevanato Group production facility in Fishers. The Italy-based life sciences company makes glass vials and syringes for pharmaceuticals, and what was originally a $150 million project grew to $500 million based on exploding demand, particularly for syringes used for GLP-1 and insulin products, says Alessandro Zanini.
We are very excited about that. Since the last quarter of last year, we have been able to deliver products to our customers, and that was a major milestone that we are very proud to have reached.
Currently, Stevanato employs about 100 people, but expects to have around 500 when the plant is at full production in about 2 years. Last weekend, the Indiana State Board of Animal Health reported 3 new cases of avian flu at different sites in Indiana. Inside Indiana Business has confirmed one of them was at the Quart Acre Egg Farm in Seymour, owned by Roseacre Farms. A spokesperson told IIB the company is working with the state to combat the spread of the virus to other flocks and is monitoring its other facilities. Indiana Pork has rebranded its food assistance program and expanded the mission to put more ground pork in food pantries across the state. The Million Meals program, a partnership with Feeding Indiana's Hungry, is now called Hoosier Hogs to Homes. Through the program, Indiana pig farmers have donated more than 1.6 million ground pork meals to Hoosiers since 2009. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Indianapolis-based Exodus Refugee Immigration has begun asking for private donations and support following a flurry of immigration-related changes President Donald Trump made last week through a series of executive orders.
On January 20th, Trump announced refugee resettlement programs would be suspended. This means organizations like Exodus stopped receiving funding as of Monday. The executive order instructs the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Secretary of State to advise within 90 days whether the refugee resettlement should be resumed. Exodus Director of Legal Services Rachel Van Tile said her organization is still trying to figure out what that means. Reuters reported the U.S. State Department suspended funding to groups that assist refugees with housing, job placements, and other needs as part of a broad pause on aid. According to its website, Exodus began in 1981 with the mission to serve the legal needs of immigrants and Cuban refugees who had arrived as part of the Mariel boat lift in 1980. Since that time, Exodus has helped thousands of refugees from more than 50 countries establish new lives in Indiana. In the fiscal year 2024, Exodus welcomed 884 new refugees from 18 different countries. Van Tile added that the organization is preparing for what it looks like to be privately funded. She said this would largely affect their clients who are within the first 3 months here in the Hoosier State. Some of them arrived last week before Trump took office. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Officials in Evansville have revealed updated designs for a portion of the Ohio River Vision and Strategic Plan that was originally announced last year. Architecture firm Sasaki released new renderings for some of the plans for the Evansville riverfront, which show adjustments to accommodate flooding concerns along the river. The plan involves a 50-mile stretch along the Ohio River from Mount Vernon to Newburgh, with the goal of developing a more attractive and healthier region, drawing new residents and visitors, and taking advantage of existing riverfront investments. The overall cost of the project and where the funding will come from is still being determined. Indiana Sports Corp President Patrick Talty and WWE Executive Vice President Chris Legentil are this week's guests on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.